Okay, we'll get started with Kyle Newman of the Denver Post.
Hey, Chi Chi, thanks for taking a couple minutes for us, man.
Yeah, no problem, Kyle. Thanks for being here.
So, this year, I guess right now, maybe a little different position than you've been in the past couple of years. You're back against the wall, trying to scrap your way back to the majors. Now, a position right in front of you in the rotation. Does it feel different to you, to have this opportunity, and kind of what's your mindset looking for this fifth job in the rotation here?
I think baseball is just going to be different this year in general. My goal is, to get that fifth spot. But at the end of the day, if I get pushed back in the pen, it's whatever's best for the team, and I'm comfortable doing both. I want to do as much as I can, be the best me I can be. If it's at starter, I'll start. If it's relieving, I'll relieve.
And how did you spend the downtime and, during the shutdown, just kind of staying in shape back home or whatnot?
Yeah, I did. I was lucky. I stayed in South Florida in Boca Raton, where I live, and right across the street was an academy that was very helpful to me, open at whenever I needed it to throw bullpens. I just had a great group of people around me that still had a gym open, like Rob, my catch buddy Miguel, and then my bullpen catcher Brian. They helped me tremendously. I was very thankful that they quarantined essentially for me, because they could have enjoyed their life, but it was kind of a group talk, group discussion, and they fulfilled me and they helped me out, so I was able to stay ready.
Thank you.
Larry Patrick.
Yes, Chi Chi, do you, following up on what Patrick was talking about, do you feel this is a make or break it season for you personally with the opportunity you're having right now?
Not so much. I don't know. I just think about the little things, man. Like my next start is Wednesday. That's all I'm really focusing on right now. Threw a bullpen yesterday. I think that should all of our goals be, is to, make the best out of every single day that we have here to prepare us for the season, because it's right around the corner.
Also, as far as your work in the off season, have you come up with anything new in your pitching repertoire this year?
No. Same repertoire, just in better shape. I was able to essentially have a longer off season because of the little virus that's going around. So, I was just able to stay ready, healthy, and just attacking the year like it's the second half.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thomas Harding.
In the grand scheme of life, the fact that you were able to work out, not worry about, am I coming back from a surgery, from the Tommy John? Am I going to make it to the major leagues for any amount of time? Did it make the offseason, I guess, a little bit better for you? The fact that, hey, you got real baseball under your belt and you were a normal pitcher coming into the offseason.
Yeah. I finished great. The team finished great, essentially, that last month of September. So that was like the plan, was just to carry on my work process, my thinking of pitching throughout the off season to bring it into spring training.
During the shutdown, you were in Florida. A lot of guys were in Arizona, where D. Scott and Tony and all those guys were there. How did you stay in contact with the group that you're pitching with? What were you able to do as far as staying in contact, whether it's Frosty, Black, Tony, or any of those guys?
Yeah, every week the starting pitchers had a little Zoom meeting once a week, and we would, Frosty would throw us a little video of inspiration, or let one of us lead the Zoom meetings. We kept it light, we kept it fun, just to see each other and talk to each other and see what things are going on, and that's how they kept up with us. So we were always telling them, our throwing program, our bullpens, the day we threw lives and all that. But every time we had a meeting, everyone was, throwing regularly, throwing their bullpens. So we're in good shape. Our arms are in good shape right now.
Were you able to lead any of those meetings?
I did. Kyle
What
led
did
the
you talk
first
about?
one. Yeah, I got the second one. Fossey gave us a video of a horse, a racing horse, that I think raced for like 13 years, and he was just a winner. On one of his last races, he was like in dead last and ended up finishing. But it was just it was like a little inspirational video to talk about how our starting staff are horses. We want to be those horses that come in. We might fall back, but we're going to finish ahead.
That's great. What about strategy? I mean, did you guys? I think that Freeland has said that he actually has some phone conversations with the catchers, especially Tony, about strategy in games. I mean, did you try to think that far ahead, or was it just enough to try to get out on the mound?
Well, I had like 3 starts before I came out against live hitting, so I was able to, just practice pitching, practice my sequencing, mechanics and all that, throw strikes. But yeah, so I didn't really talk to Tony about pitching as much more than I guess of life, of how he was doing and stuff like that.
Tracer Ringlesby.
Hey, Chichi, how important was last September to you?
Hey, Trace, how you doing, man? Yeah,
Good.
September was great, man. It was very important. Bud called us in right before September started and told us that, season's not over. If you can use this month to work on things or, essentially showcase yourself for the next coming year. And I took that to heart, and I think we all did, because that month of September we kind of played, we played team ball. We had a lot of wins. Pitching was doing great. We carried each other on our back. So I think that month right there kind of turned us over into a true team, and that's what we're going to bring into this coming first. I mean, whenever these things get going. But I felt like we were a true team in September.
How about personally, do you feel like you established some stuff that, hey, I am back, I am ready to pitch now?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, big time. I had my fastball command was great. I was sinking it, cutting it. My demeanor was to attack like my old self, and I was able to do that, and things went well.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Stout, AT&T.
Hi, Chi Chi. I'm going to piggyback off of Tracy because I read this in his article about last September. If I read it right, I remember right, that was 2 years out from Tommy John. And my question is, did the medical professionals say to you, look, that is a milestone, be aware of that? And were you aware of that? Was that a conversation that they had with you to know that September could be, a benchmark time?
No, I guess I never asked medically. I was just so focused on just getting healthy and staying healthy. But I know down when I was rehabbing with Volquez, I know he told me that once that 2-year mark would hit, stuff would be back, your confidence would be back, and it was just literally just concentrate on pitching. And I guess he found that out through experience himself as well. Everyone's different, but my body was the same as his essentially on that 2-year mark. But yeah, I'm very thankful for my rehab process with the Rangers and the guys that I had with me doing the same process. So I learned a lot from their experiences.
One other question. We talked to Ryan McMahon last week, and he said he faced you, and I wrote it down. He talked about your cutter slider thing that he faced. How do you describe the pitch that he's trying to describe?
I guess you got to describe it just like that. He's hitting against it, so he's got the best view. But yeah, my ball tends to cut. That's just how I throw it. I've figured it out somewhat. But yeah, my ball cuts, and then I sink it as well. But yeah, he's lefty, so my goal was just to throw it in that up and tight zone and, make it look like a strike and the ball to aggressive hitters. And McMahon's a great hitter, and he talked to me after and, was telling me how wherever I was throwing that pitch to him, it was very hard to decide either not to swing or swing. So it's always nice hearing, a teammate or anyone tell you that your stuff is actually stuff.
Thank you, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Groke, The Athletic.
Hey, Cheech. Sorry, Zoom cut you off a little bit at the beginning, so I apologize if this was asked. But
Okay.
because so much of this season sort of depends on stuff off the field a little bit too. If you don't mind me asking, Is your family with you? Is any of this difficult on a personal level, the guidelines and protocols?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, we're just doing the same thing we're doing at home. We stayed healthy for that off-season point two, whatever you want to call it. So we're just practicing the same stuff that we were practicing at home, going out as least as we can. When we need groceries to order and get them delivered and sanitize them before we bring it in. It's a little monotonous, but we're trying to do is be as safe and clean as we can be, because essentially, you know, everyone that brought their family is tying into our I guess team. You know, we're all together. You know, wives and girlfriends are at home, struggling to keep us on the field. You know, so they know that this is serious, and I think we've been doing a great job.
Yeah. So now, like whatever we're at, a week in or a week and a half in, are you feeling any better about everything? I know it's really weird, but are you at all used to it? Are you feeling better about the whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's going to be the new baseball, I guess, until this virus is figured out. But yeah, I think all of our guys are used to it. We're wearing our masks, we're washing our hands, social distancing. We're making it a fact, making it a point that it's very important for us to stay healthy, because at the end of the day, it's, like Trevor and Nolan has said, it's the strongest the strongest team, healthiest team is going to survive and win.
Awesome. Thank you.
We'll do one more question. Kyle Newman, Denver Post.
Hey, real quick question about one of your fellow pitchers. So Antonio Senzatella, some big expectations around him this year. He had a couple stumbles last year. What are you seeing just kind of day to day from him that gives you some confidence that he can be, one of those back end stalwart guys in the rotation?
I mean, Antonio's doing great, man. He's in great shape. He's talking baseball all the time. He pitched great yesterday. He's throwing hard, man. So I'm excited for him, and we need to push each other. We need to, follow each other's paths essentially to success, to winning. So, yeah, I got no doubt in my mind that Antonio's going to have a great year.
Thanks, Chi Chi.
Thanks, everybody. Chi Chi, great job. Really appreciate it. And everyone jump on the Buddy Zoom. We'll get started in about 7 minutes on that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.